Authorities are investigating a stunning incident involving a mail delivery in a gated community in Palm Beach Gardens.
Yeah, a resident actually watched a mail contractor dump a bin full of mail into a lake. CBS 12's Al Peffley joins us tonight from the Mirabella at Mirasol community where it all took place. Al?
Jim, according to a resident who witnessed the incident, she watched as a bunch of bulk mail, like the stuff I'm holding in my hand, was dumped in this lake here you see behind me. Some here find it hard to believe.
Surprising. I wouldn't expect that of people. I would expect them to follow through on their job and to do their job the way, it's intended to be done. So it's disappointing and concerning. Sounds pretty dishonest.
We found Sheila Minarski, a snowbird who lives at Mirabella at Mirasol, walking her dog Chili. She was shocked by an incident here Tuesday, a portion of which was recorded on cell phone video by a resident. Palm Beach Gardens police and postal officials were called to the neighborhood at about 4 Tuesday afternoon after a woman saw a contractor, shown in this still photo, who she says she watched dumping a plastic bin full of mail into a lake. The resident confronted the mail carrier, who said it was only junk mail that she had dumped. The mail carrier was stopped moments later at the front gate before she could leave the property.
Yeah, I was pretty shocked that that was happening in our community. You kind of rely on people getting their mail and bulk mail.
Mark Schaffler, a resident and a real estate agent who sends out hundreds of newsletters to homeowners each month at great expense, says it's hard to believe that some of his newsletters may have ended up in a lake along with other bulk mail.
It is quite careless, and I don't understand the motivation and why she would put her job at risk and risk of getting arrested and brought up on criminal charges.
While doing our story, we found a woman delivering mail in Mirabella at Mirasol, driving the same white van, same license number, and same lettering that says U.S. Mail on the van that police had stopped Tuesday. Can you tell me about that now? Was that one of your co-workers? Why would they do that?
You call the post office.
We've already called the post office. What company do you work for? What contractor do you work for? Because we'd like to get your side of the story. Are you the one who was dumping the mail in the lake?
Goodbye, sir.
She wasn't providing many answers. Can you tell us how this would have happened? Why somebody would have dumped mail in a lake out here?
I don't have that information for you. I will ask you kindly to let me finish my job. I have to deliver this mail. This has nothing to do with me. I just want to finish my job. You're delaying my mail, so I need to continue.
Can you give us the name of the company you work for?
I don't have any information.
We got a written statement from the Postal Service that says, quote, the Postal Service immediately took steps to retrieve all items which may have been mishandled and will make every effort to ensure delivery of these items is completed. We do not comment on ongoing investigations. The individual involved is not a Postal Service employee. The Postal Service would not give us the name of the contractor that this woman works for.
In other news, a recent death of a missing 6-year-old autistic girl in Palm Beach County has sparked new interest in a device that could help keep track of children with special needs.
Law enforcement from Palm Beach County to the Treasure Coast partnered with the local nonprofit behind this technology. CBS 12's Luli Ortiz sat down with a retired police chief to tell us how it all works.
After an extensive search for a missing 6-year-old girl on the autism spectrum and nonverbal near West Palm Beach, deputies in Palm Beach County say they discovered the body of Alina Fenelis in a canal behind a home on Timberline Drive off of Summit Boulevard. The investigation is ongoing, a tragedy that hits home to many, including retired police chief Gene Saunders.
Time is against you, and they're quick and they're smart, and if they get focused on something, all you got to do is turn your head and they're gone.
He says calls are coming in for information about his nonprofit Project Lifesaver, created to help children or adults who are likely to wander due to a cognitive issue like autism or dementia.
With an autistic child, you've got about 15 to 20 minutes before they're in trouble.
Participants wear a battery-powered tracking wristband 24/7. If someone wearing it goes missing, law enforcement can track them down using a radio transmitter.
It's a very simple concept. I mean, this has been around ever since World War II. This is how they located spies. They locked onto their radio signal and they tracked them to the source of the radio signal.
He's partnered with officials like the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office to even use drones to locate victims from above so they can be found in minutes.
Finding them is only half the job. Now you got to get them home. How do you deal with a person with autism?
Another part of the training with agencies that adopted the program, like deputies in Indian River County and Port St. Lucie Police, is how to communicate with those who are nonverbal, as well as focus on areas near the water.
For some reason, autistic children are attracted to bodies of water. I've asked a lot of psychologists why they think that is true. I've gotten several different answers, but the fact remains they do.
That's often cited as a reason why the #1 cause of death in those with autism is drowning. He says a big feature of the wristband is that it's waterproof.
There's too many ways out here that we can protect these children.
And Chief Saunders says the program has made more than 4,000 rescues.
Tonight, the Martin County Sheriff's Office sending out an alert warning boaters about a band of criminals stealing marine electronics from boats.
Yeah, CBS 12's Treasure Coast reporter Dylan Huberman joining us live now over in Martin County with more on how they're pulling off these crimes. Dylan?
Jim and Liz, the Martin County Sheriff's Office says these criminals are working in groups to case the area prior to committing these crimes. These groups are targeting valuable electronics, such as motors without locking mechanisms, chart plotters, and GPS devices. Traveling thieves targeting the Treasure Coast. The Martin County Sheriff's Office raising concerns after seeing a spike in boat thefts. The costly crimes playing out in driveways, storage facilities, and marinas.
They come up on one night and commit multiple burglaries. It's not, 30 different days. Sometimes it's only 4 or 5 different days with multiple instances where they're going on multiple boats in a marina. The sergeant says there have been more than 36 reported thefts of marine technology in the county since mid-November, forcing them to have an increased presence on the coast. Increased patrols. We have, obviously, road patrol deputies are out there patrolling the marinas. We have members of Criminal Investigations Division working out in unmarked capacities, doing surveillance on these marinas, trying to catch the acts. Obviously, we can't be everywhere at one time, and there's a lot of marinas in Martin County. The Sailfish Marina of Stewart taking matters into their own hands, trying to combat this issue with surveillance.
We've added the cameras, which is a really good deterrent, and far more lights. So things are really bright around here.
The Sheriff's Office and the Marina recommend installing cameras with motion sensors to register subtle movements. One boat owner says that technology gives him peace of mind, knowing their property is protected.
They walk through, it goes on, even like a rabbit or animal goes through, it goes on. But to steal a motor would be kind of difficult. You need a crane. They got to really work on it, and they can make a lot of noise, and we got motion detector lights.
In addition to adding cameras, Sergeant Bellis advises boat owners to take pictures of their marine technology and write down serial numbers so that in the event they are stolen, it becomes easier for police to find them.